today, including yesterday and the day before, I received at the minimum one call or one case requiring urgent intervention in a domestic situation. And I don't really think it is proper for me to elevate them beyond the ordinary. My hope is we'll address the allegations as they are allegations with an open mind, with a view to sorting out all the issues. And there are some issues, some legal and some factual, that have to be addressed. And so we're going to be meeting as a governing council of the commission on the 9th and into the 10th of December. And I suspect that may be one of the cases that will come up. And we'll try and deal with the issues that arise from that.
Now, there was some kind of allegation, about the pronouncement on the state of health of the governor's wife. And it seems the NHRC almost got its hands burnt, within the whole stories of making the rounds. So what's your reaction about this?
I tried to take a look at, well, I saw that actually while I was out of the country. And I tried to take a look at what had happened or what hadn't happened, or what was said and what wasn't said. And it seemed to me that some of the allegations being made about what the commission said or didn't say, or what agents of the commission or actors on behalf of the commission said or didn't say, just didn't seem founded on the facts as they were. But in any case, as I said, in the statement I did on Sunday, last Sunday, I think, the complaint before us is very clear in the allegations it makes. And the delegation that we sent to Enugu did not include any medical professional. And so there was no question of the commission coming out to make any statements about the medical health of any of the parties to the case. I should also say that even in terms of the Freedom of Information Act, we did, because I was fully involved in the drafting of the Freedom of Information Act, we did deliberately work out an exemption for medical records. You don't go around. It's not for any entity, certainly not a Human Rights Commission, to make disclosures about the state of health of any person. And particularly in the allegations about people's state of health are beyond the pale, outside the remit of public disclosures on those, except at the request of the person whose health is involved, are beyond the pale and outside the remit of a Human Rights Commission and indeed an adjudicatory body, and I'd like to see that respected.
All right, now that we've been able to establish that the NHRC, the Human Rights Commission, is indeed here to stay, and do its best to ensure that Nigerians really enjoy human rights. But looking at the country as it is, in all the 36 states, including the Federal Capital Territory, would you really say that Nigerians are really, getting to feel that their rights are being protected? From the standpoint of Nigerians, and both within and outside the country, even international observers, they still say that perhaps we have quite a long way to go, and you would expect that even in a democratic setting, things will improve. We know that in the military era, it was quite awful, but we're still getting knocks on the head, so to speak, even now. What do you think is responsible for this? Or are we really getting there? Can we achieve this?
There are no perfect societies. There are no perfect countries. Every country is struggle, is work in progress. But yes, we can overcome them as Nigerians, and we must always continue to think that we can overcome them. And our leaders have got to continue to reassure us and show us as a people that we can overcome them. I do think we can. And how can we? First of all, public officers have got to take the responsibility of public office seriously. I think that is really not negotiable. And if we can all do our bits, the public officers doing their bit to elevate public office, citizens doing their bit to hold public officers accountable and make demands on them that are sensible, I think our challenges are there to be surmounted.
One last question before I let you go, Professor, and that has to do with the proposed national dialogue, which seems to be on the front burner now. Well, we know that it's going to be happening anytime soon, but from your own standpoint, what's your view about the proposed national dialogue vis-a-vis with the way the Nigerian constitution is? I know there have been several attempts now to get the constitution amended, and I mean, looking at all of it, do you really think it's a good idea? Do we stand to gain anything from this?
I see the idea of a national dialogue as above all else, an invitation and a challenge to the older generation to give the young people a chance to contribute to inventing a different kind of country. A country for themselves, for the younger people, because our average life expectancy is in the late 40s. And so now, in this country, whenever we're looking to do these things, we invite people in their 70s who are really living on beyond borrowed time to come and tell us how to do it. I think the people in the 70s should move over. The people in the 60s should move over and invite their children and grandchildren to tell them what the country should be. And bless those children as they do those things. Give the children the benefit of their wisdom and tell the children to go forward. And may the good Almighty be with them. That is the way elders, proper elders, do these things. And I have problems with 60-year-olds who are leaders of youth wings. And I do think that that kind of thing needs to end.
Right. We thank you so much for spending time with us, Professor Chidi Adikali. We've really run out of time, but we appreciate you for spending time with us on Question Time. Thank you once again.
Now, our guest is under no illusion that the country really needs to achieve its human rights standings for the entire world to see, and he believes that is possible. However, there should be a show of commitment from both the government of the day and, of course, the citizenry to ensure that we do away with those practices that may put the country in bad light and work towards building a nation where genuine human rights reign supreme, provided there's sufficient enlightenment to raise awareness on the subject. And that's how we end this week's edition of the program. Don't forget to send us your questions, comments, and suggestions to questiontime@channelstv.com, or you can watch us online also via channelstv.com. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. Until next time, it's bye for now.